it's Addie again, and this time we're going to talk about songwriting basics. So we kind of went over already what is a song, what are the parts of a song, the arrangement of a song, and so now let's put all of that into motion and try to write a song. I previously talked about how I kind of like to water my brain with listening to music, playing music. Whatever you can do to get inspiration to write your own music, do it. I like trying to learn how to play songs I like to listen to, and then if I screw up a little bit, then like, hey, maybe that sounds good, and maybe I keep playing it with the screwed up riff, and then maybe it becomes my riff. And another thing to do that's kind of fun is if you figure out how to play a riff that you like or a chord progression that you like, try playing it backwards. And it doesn't have to be like literally exactly backwards, but try playing those chords backwards or those notes backwards and see what that sounds like. See if that gives you any ideas. I really like the mistake aspect. Even if you're trying to like write a song you hear in your head and you're trying to play it for the first time and you make a mistake. Sometimes your hands know what they're doing better than your brain does. And sometimes those mistakes sound really cool. And something else to think about when you're writing music is the sounds that you're making. So not just like the musical notes, but what sounds can you make with your instrument? So with guitars and basses, you're using your fingers to press down on the strings on one hand. You're using your other hand to strum. You can try and kind of wobble your fingers on the strings. You can kind of bend the strings and move them around. You can change the way you strum. You can strum really fast, really slow. You can hit just a few of the strings or all of them. You can try to clamp your hand down over the entire fret and see what that sounds like. Or if you have effects pedals and you like hearing feedback and distortion and like weird noises, that's something to play around with. We have a website link to a Boss pedal simulator that will be included in the Google Classroom that if your computer has Adobe Flash, you should be able to play around with it. So even if you're a drummer, why not check that out? And for drummers, I haven't forgotten about you, and keyboard players for that matter. You can change the rhythm of what you're playing. You can change, for drummers, how hard you hit or where you're hitting on the drums. You can try hitting different things, especially if you're recording at home. Maybe you don't have a drum set at home, but what can you use to make percussion noises at home? You can challenge yourself to find different creative ways to make rhythm and record it. It might sound really cool. Maybe you start doing electronic stuff with making weird percussion noises. The possibilities are really endless, just to even play with the sounds your instrument makes versus like trying to write a specific riff or chorus. For drummers, you can still write a song even if you're not playing musical notes. You can try to sing or tap out the music that you can hear in your head, or even why not find a xylophone, or there are different percussion instruments that have music notes on them, like a marimba, and those are kind of bigger and maybe not something you'd have at home. There's different ways to incorporate and experiment with that stuff, especially with resources we have online. So I will try to find even more resources like that and share them in the Google Classroom. For music, again, find your inspiration, play your instrument, keep doing it until you find something you like. For lyric writing, as you can imagine, there's a million different things you can write a song about. Like I said, I like writing songs about things I'm passionate about that have happened in real life to me. Other people go way more creative and tell stories with their songs. There's a couple different kinds of songs that I want to just briefly mention that are topic ideas for you to write lyrics about. You could write a love song, a breakup song, or a relationship song, but they don't have to be about romantic relationships. You could write a love song to your dog or your guitar. I've written a love song to my guitar because I love my guitar. You could be breaking up with a friend, or perhaps an item or a concept or a habit in your life that no longer serves you. A relationship song doesn't have to be about a romantic relationship. It could be about a struggle you're having with family members or people at school. You can write a song about a story, about a third person that's not necessarily about you, although it could secretly be about you, a misunderstood person, someone else that you know that you're friends with that has an interesting story that you feel inspired to tell. You can write songs about personal beliefs and events. That's a pretty common thing. So an introduction as an artist, like this song is about me, this is who I am, announcing yourself to the world. Major life events or life changes, something nobody else knows about you, some kind of a confession. And you could also write a public service announcement song. A lot of political songs could fall under this. What message do you have for the world? What do you want the world to know? What do you feel strongly about that needs to change? Those are really great ideas for lyrics. Another kind of random idea that you can do by yourself is find the nearest book, open it wherever it opens, pick a paragraph wherever your eyes land, and then start writing about what that paragraph is about. And even if it's boring and terrible, you could start writing about how boring and terrible it sounds, or how would you make it better, or how would you make it more exciting? What if it's a textbook? What if it's about something really dry and boring? You could write about what would this be like if I taught it? What would I like this to sound like? That's one interesting exercise you can do by yourself. At Girls Rock Camp, I normally have campers do something like Exquisite Corpse, where you take a piece of paper, you write a line, you fold it over so it can't be seen, and then pass it to somebody else. That's a lot harder to do if you're alone at home, although that's definitely something that if you have family members or whoever that you want to share that with, you totally could. The last thing I want to talk about is the interactive portion of this workshop, where I would love to see what you can come up with from the ideas that I have shared, and also that you will see Megan share as well. Okay, so here is your mission. Set your alarm 20 minutes before you need to get up, or alternatively, just pick 20 minutes out of your day that you are definitely going to devote to songwriting. Spend that 20 minutes writing lyrics, writing music. You could be journaling what you think about these videos and ideas that we're sharing. Anything that inspires you, if you just want to make a list of like where you're going to seek out inspiration, or even start playing music if you have an instrument at home that you can use for 20 minutes. If you want, you can try to keep a notebook and pen right next to your bed for ideas, and your instrument if possible. But your mission is to spend 20 minutes a day to get into the songwriting process. It would be awesome for you to share in this Google Classroom what you've done. So you can either make a video showing what you did, or you can just type a comment about it and share with everybody else what you're doing. And hopefully you would feel inspired to do this all 5 days of camp, and I would love to see if you can come up with a finished product, a finished song at the end of camp. It would be awesome to have you share that to the Google Classroom and let everyone see what you did. Megan and I are here in the Google Classroom to answer any of your questions, and we'll be really excited to see what you come up with. Feel free to type a comment, even if it's not about our interactive portion. If you have questions about songwriting, anything you want to ask or share with the group, please feel free to do so. And thanks for watching and being here with us at our virtual camp this year.